What's up, guys? Welcome to the Squat Plug, episode 17. I am joined by the handsome Ylli Mujaj, a.k.a.
the Broccoli Man,
a.k.a.
the Broccoli Guy,
and Mateo. He finally said something.
a.k.a. whatever
All right,
weird
all right,
fucking
all right,
name.
all right,
It ties into broccoli, apparently. It's just the lamest fucking
Except for
nicknames you can
broccoli
imagine.
head, because he's bald. He has no
Yeah, I'm
hair.
bald. I don't have to. If I
And the
had
broccoli
hair,
head
that would be the
next
broccoli
to it.
head.
And
Broccoli
the
head is
broccoli
next to
head,
me.
the half of broccoli head.
Okay.
He's not fully there, and he doesn't have dangly earrings.
Not yet.
Getting there, yeah.
Nor does he have pink eyebrows, by the way. Nor shaved eyebrows either.
Ylli, yours are coming back, though.
There they are. My eyebrows aren't deep.
That was quick.
Yeah.
The hair grows faster on your face than it does on your head.
The hair on my head doesn't grow at all.
So, what are we talking about today?
In fact, I think we talked about what we're going to talk about today, but in fact, since we haven't talked about it before, let's talk about the Olympia.
Okay.
Yeah,
Good call. Yeah. So you guys competed at the Olympia. That was 3 weeks ago now? 2 weeks?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks. Okay.
2 weeks ago,
I mean, I'll turn it over to you guys. Talk about your experience.
No, it was a pretty well-run meet, I want to say. It was very efficient, very quick. I kind of enjoyed that. We were at the prime time day in session of the meet. It was pretty cool. As a venue, it was mostly it was a great time. Some very interesting people we saw out there. Randy Coleman, Martin Sleekis, Connor Murphy.
Some sumo wrestlers next to us.
Nice.
Some nice sights and sounds to be seen out there and whatnot. Grill of Mine had their own little venue over there. It was pretty cool to see that. We missed some of the bigger names, though. I know that, what's his name? Noel Diesel was out there as well, and like some other bigger names and shit like that. We'd like to have seen them, but alas, we didn't. We competed. We both competed in 125 kg weight class. Mateo became nice and fat.
Yes. I gained a lot of weight for that, and it kind of fucked me up a little bit, but I had to try it.
We're not coping at all.
I had to get a little fluffy, see how it
I
felt.
fucked up, that's it. I know COVID. It is what it is.
So this time around, he came up with his own attempt selections. We did that. We kept it fair, as opposed to me cooking the process and potentially, I guess, derailing what happened there. Didn't want to have that happen.
No, that wasn't the reason. It was more like I wanted to keep it a little.
No, but it has to be competitive.
I bet you
move.
probably would have got the same outcome.
Pretty much.
I could have been a little bit different. I think you over-opened on deadlifts. I think
I wasn't going to get any more either way. I wasn't going to get any more.
I think he was going to get more. That second deadlift cooked you. Had you done a little bit lighter there, I think you would have had the third.
No.
Ylli,
I should have loaded at 666 on my second either way, honestly.
No,
that was it.
I don't think so.
Whatever.
Ylli thinks I opened too heavy on my meet, too. So
I do. Legit,
I still squatted my third, though.
So I'm actually going to make a post about this. Talk about like meet day attempt selections and like how you want to generate momentum when it comes down to those lifts. So you can basically just move forward into the day itself, secure total, not bomb out, and just generate better, I guess, like a morale overall for the course of the day, which is important for meet day execution.
Said the guy that always complains to his coach when he sees his attempt selection for meet day.
Because
you know what,
though?
though? You know what, though? While I don't necessarily think I opened too heavy, I think I took a little too heavy of a third, even though I got it. Because it kind of killed my... I was toasted when I went into bench. Bench went awful. And then I missed my third deadlift.
Yeah.
So maybe if I held myself back 5 kilos on squat, I wouldn't have been as tired going into bench. Bench would have went better, and then I probably would have hit that deadlift PR that I missed. So
I hear. It's something with my lifters. I like to hold back a little bit on their third attempt squat when I can, if I know that's going to impact their performance on deadlifts.
I 100% agree. This is actually something I was talking to Ryan about last week, and not to get too off track here, but I used to be that guy that was like, you got to leave it all on the platform. It's got to be RP 10. If you don't, and it's a waste, But as I've gained more experience, I realized how much that actually takes out of you and takes away from the bench and the deadlift.
Yes, even the bench.
And even the because you're experiencing that systemic fatigue from doing an RP 10 grinder squat, and it's like you don't have to, if you just go like 9.5, if I just held myself back 5 or 10 kilos, I think I would have ended with a bigger total. Because I would have hit the bench and the deadlifts that I missed.
So this is what happened to me on bench press. Like after the third squat, I hit 699.97 pounds or something like that. Close to 700. For the first time, it was a pretty huge milestone for me.
Close to 800.
Close to 800, about 100 pounds away from there. But it was a huge milestone for me. But I found my back, I guess, spasming on bench press. And on the third attempt, my leg slipped out. Didn't help. That was also projectile vomiting between attempts.
Yeah.
Bro, I was like legit just a cone of like fucking vomit just launched itself out of my mouth. It was horrible. I was like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, I messaged Ylli to say good luck, and he was like, I'm very sick right now. And I was like,
Bro, oh my God. So I was like, after the second squat, I vomited for the first time. And then after I finished my third squats, it was just like projectile vomiting all over the place. I was like, what in the fuck is happening here? Food poisoning from the crepe. The night before, I didn't sleep until 4 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, my son recently was diagnosed with RSV, and it turns out that's what I fucking had as well.
That's what we're going to get next week.
No.
This close to you.
No, I've got something else right now.
Okay, thank you.
Wonderful.
He doesn't even know what he has, honestly.
I know what it is, and I got
He's got the ick.
I got tested for COVID, and it's not that right now, so I think I'm okay.
You have a Bondies?
No Bondies?
Yeah. No? Okay.
But that kind of stuff, though. So I still managed to have a decent performance. I went 8 for 9 overall. I missed my third bench press, obviously, like I stated earlier. Had a 6 pound or like 5.5 pound PR on deadlifts. Hit 711, and ended up with an 1863 pound total.
Hell yeah.
Not a bad day. And beat Mateo by a point and a half on dots.
Was it a point and a half?
Yes.
It was a little less.
No, it was more than that.
But okay. It
was almost 2 points.
No, it wasn't.
It was like 1.99 pounds.
Come on, 1.99 pounds. Yeah, 1.907.
It was as close to 2 points as my squat was.
Did you get an age dots?
Yes.
We didn't count that.
You did.
But we didn't count that. But he still shaved his eyebrows.
So I won the wager, and I still shaved my eyebrows. We do know why. It's the sin.
He just wanted to see what he looked like. Yeah, he was talking about that for weeks.
Because we literally, as soon as the meet finished, we're like, okay, the bet is like voided. And next thing you know, we go back to the Airbnb. I'm in the pool chilling. He walks out.
We have a video of this, by the way.
Oh my God. And I see him, right?
As soon as you guys got back to the hotel room, he's like, I've been waiting for this moment for weeks. He went right in the bathroom, shaved those bitches off.
He comes out in the pool. He takes off his hat, and I look at him like, no, the fuck you didn't, bro. I stood there for like 30 seconds.
The look of shock on his face.
Oh my God.
You know, let me play this video to you. I'm going to play this video to you.
All you'll hear is like James screaming his fucking ass off.
Oh, let's see if I can find it real quick. I know Crummy sent it to me. Let me look for videos over here. This is pretty that funny, though. Oh, man. All right, I'm looking
for the listeners. Ylli is pulling up a video on his phone right now.
Yeah, of him.
Don't go anywhere.
Stay tuned. Here it is.
Stay tuned.
Very close.
You guys getting in? I'm not getting in, man. No, bro. It's freezing. Put your feet in. Take your socks off.
Bro got socks on.
That's Jamesy.
Bro, he screamed.
Look at Mateo's face.
That's hilarious.
You gotta see Mateo's face here. This is what makes it. James screamed at Mateo's face.
Oh my God. Okay, for everybody listening, I'm gonna promote this podcast by making a post out of that. We have to put that on the internet.
We need that clip.
The people that are gonna listen to this need to see that. We can't just we can't do them dirty like that. Like no they have to. Yeah, they have to. They have to join in.
I've been holding back for up until now.
All right, so back to Olympia. What about you, Mateo? So you what'd you squat? You hit a squat PR. You hit a nice bench PR.
Juicy bench PR.
Yeah, and I hit a conventional deadlift PR, which is co-PR, but
it's all right. Still a PR. PR is a PR, man.
Yeah. Okay.
I got excuses.
So I squatted 672.
Oh, you're so nice to your ass.
But I squatted 672.
It builds character.
It was a little bit of a gift, let's just say.
Oh my God.
A little bit.
Oh my God.
I'm sure everyone listening to this saw your story. For most people, anyway.
So
he missed death for like 44 inches.
Yeah.
I was at Ryan's. I was at a meet at Ryan's, and I was showing everybody.
Oh my God.
It was like, yo, look at Mateo.
I knew it right away.
Squat.
I knew it right away.
No, I know.
I
You
lost
even
balance.
say, I thought it was funny because you were like, I'm sorry. But I thought it was
Let me just
funny.
put it this way. He completed the unrack.
No,
I
thought
walked it out.
I thought the funniest thing was he was like, I can't post this shit on my
No,
story.
I was like, I can't post this as a meet recap. I'm embarrassed.
Oh, man.
And like I knew he was high because I lost balance and I fell forward. So like I finished the rep, and then I'm just like looking to the left, like on the screen, waiting for the 3 reps, right? And I see like 2 to 1. I'm like, no fucking way!
You got blessed, my guy.
Yo, and then as I was walking to the back and the warm up again, like that the ref that is sitting like by the curtain and calling the names.
the TC.
Yes, but what was you know the ref though, like the Florida guy?
Tony.
Yeah. So what's his name again?
Tony.
Tony. So
I forget his last name, but he's been around forever.
Yeah. But anyways, so as I was walking back, the ref like waiting by the curtain was like, he looked at me, I looked at him. He goes like, that she was high as hell, boy. and I'm like, I know, man. You don't gotta tell me. I know. You don't need to do all that.
Go tell the ref.
Yeah, pretty much. But that was a 7.5 kilo PR on squats.
What was it?
Huge.
What'd you hit?
Huge.
305.
305.
kilos.
305 kilos.
Bro, that's fucking huge.
Which is what? 660? 672.
Wow.
And then on bench went phenomenal.
Yeah.
I had a 5 kilo bench PR in like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And you had some room in the tank,
And
too,
I had like
on
another
that,
2.5.
on that third.
Oh,
yeah.
Maybe 5. I don't want
I
to.
think 468 was there.
You hit 205.
Yes. 210.
Oh, you hit 210.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. That was my
I think
apologies.
212.5 was definitely there.
Yeah. But it was really good. And then deadlifts was
Yo, we peaked the shot at bench press.
yes. And then deadlifts
Bench
was
is
just
finicky, though. Better to err on the side of caution.
Of course. That goes without saying.
Yeah.
for
Good
deadlifts.
handling by John Crumpshaw,
yeah.
by the way. He did a great job handling
Crummy
Mateo.
was did the thing.
Amazing job.
You go half a kilo too heavy on bench, and it's like...
Yeah.
That's it.
Especially for me, it's like it looks good until it doesn't. It's just
Yeah, exactly. And squats and deadlifts are so much easier to like muscle through,
yeah.
you know?
And then deadlifts, first of all, my mistake was I gained
Too much
5
weight.
kilos. 5 kilos in 6 weeks. It's like 11 pounds.
Yeah.
And then also, I've always had like grip issues. And the bar.
Had
I know, yeah,
chunky
okay.
hands. Fat hands.
So I had fat hands. Somebody stole my liquid chalk.
Oh, man.
Yeah, somebody stole my liquid chalk, and then also they had like the Cerakote bars on the platform, which I hate. I cannot deadlift anything on them, like no matter what it is.
I don't like those.
And then so basically, I got my opener. I got my second. It was also like shouldn't have been good because my shoulders were not locked out, but.
I
Again,
remember seeing that. Actually, I was seeing the same thing. Oh, shit. You just got
and
bucked.
I started losing grip right away. Like I barely held onto it. And then third attempt, I went up like 2.5 kilos just to beat him, and I missed it.
Yeah, no. Pulled for the win and lost.
But yeah, so it was a mistake on my own part as well, because I was like 111.5 kilos going to Florida, and then I kept eating the days leading up to the meet, and then I woke up the morning off like at 113. And I was telling like John, my handler, I was like, yo, I kind of want to spit to lose some weight. He was like, nah, bro, you don't need to do that. It's not going to be that close. He's like, it's not going to be that close. It's always going to be that close.
Everybody thought I was going to lose.
And
I beat him sick.
And the funny part is...
You were talking like you were going to beat the brakes off him, though.
I beat him sick.
Okay,
if I was healthy.
Oh, here we go.
All right. All right.
And if my grip was gripping...
I was sick. Yeah.
I said,
Mateo could hold on to barbells. If you weren't sick...
Listen, these copes are orders of magnitude different, all right?
And if I loaded 212, I would have beat you.
Sickness hits suddenly.
And if my aunt had wheels, she'd be a bicycle.
Grip weakness isn't something that shows up overnight. It's like, oh shit, my hands are weak today. That's never happened. They've always been weak. You're weak. Your hands are weak and fat.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But
Okay.
that
was totally uncalled for.
If I had lost that kilo that I was telling my handler to lose, if I went like in at 112, I would actually beat him.
Yeah, I know he would have. It was that close. I love it. I love how close
Did you
it was.
pay him off, the handler?
I might have.
He gave something already.
Well, there may have been a few Zim packets which were exchanged. You know?
But yeah, that was a fun experience. I would do it again.
I'll definitely do it again.
There were some issues with the live stream people were complaining about, but that was not of our...
So, speaking about that, I got a chance to actually watch that orchestrated behind the scenes. Bryce TSA on Instagram was I want to say jumping around from screen to screen, and just like like doing everything he possibly could physically to correct it. It was a bad situation.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand the internet package that the venue had provided them was absolutely piss poor, and the better package was like fucking $10,000. $10,000 to fucking use internet.
That's wild,
bro.
That's a lot.
They're going to charge us $3,500 for a 10 by 10 space. That's fucking insane for Whitetail. So it was a non-starter. Yeah, so that's something people don't know. These venues charge exorbitant fees because they know that they can. Mm-hmm. They try to get away with it. And the food was expensive. The drinks were expensive. I think the Coca-Cola was like $5 or $6 or something like that.
I don't remember. I don't want to remember.
So it was a lot over there. But overall, a very enjoyable experience. I love what they did this year. I think they should. I can't wait for them to do it again next year and make it bigger and better. From what I understand, I've heard there's talk that the Arnolds may be, seeing maybe their last, maybe happening for the last time, and then the the Olympia may become the new Arnold, and I'm with it. I'm all for it. It's a fantastic event. There's a whole lot going on there, apart from just what we were doing, and apart from the sumo wrestling, which is near us. There was what's we call the Rhino Cage, which they had out there. You had a whole bunch of big people, I guess, like pulling off some massive deadlifts. Shane Hunt was out there. I forget the guy, the dude with the red hair, the untested lifter. Oh, fuck.
What weight class?
Blake Louie, I think.
Blakely Hugh.
Blakely Hugh.
Oh, okay.
And he beat Shane by 1 rep. He pulled sumo and Shane pulled conventional. It was pretty.
But it's also like their weight difference is pretty big. So
yeah, but it was like a deadlift off.
Yeah,
So that kind of stuff. They had that there, arm wrestling exhibitions, and of course the actual fucking Olympia was taking place out there. So that was pretty cool as well. Get a chance to see all that shit happening. I think in the years to come, it's going to be pretty fucking entertaining meet to be a part of. And the issues I had this year, I'm sure they won't be there next year. But that kind of stuff. So that's that for that. Moving on, some news in the powerlifting world recently. The powerlifting Mecca may no longer be the Mecca of powerlifting.
Okay, can we specify which the powerlifting Mecca is? Because it's not really the powerlifting Mecca.
Well,
People might get confused.
I agree as well, but this is
Ylli is being facetious. It's not.
I am. I'm entirely being facetious. For not the first time ever. Put it that way. But Russell Ori said that the Houston has become or was becoming the powerlifting Mecca. And unfortunately, recently, he had to close down Corrupt the Strength out there.
Womp, womp.
Did you just say womp womp to process Ori's gym closing?
Yes. Sad news for the masses. Not only was it closed on Sundays, but now it's closed permanently. Oni mask cued. Either way, whatever, but that kind of stuff. So he closed it,
and he was talking about how let's pull that video up for reference. Yes.
I actually happen to have it here. I don't want to work off a hearsay. Let's work off of what he actually said.
Yeah, we don't have to paraphrase, or let's just.
Hopefully, we don't get struck with copywriting.
Fair use.
That could be our intro song.
So it's time to address kind of like some of the plans for CS and what's going to be happening with CS going to the future.
CS stands for Corrupted Strength, by the way. Nice little abbreviation, because saying Corrupted Strength is too tough, apparently.
So this is a decision that I've come to the conclusion that needs to be made pretty much now, and I've tried my best to kind of like avoid this decision. But I kind of knew once it was told that we would have to be out of the spot that chances are me finding a place that I love in such a short frame of time. Number one, a place that I love, and then number two, a place that was affordable for our current budget. And being in the same like kind of area to maintain our memberships was going to be a tall task, and I kind of knew. I was like, shit, it's not going to work out.
So, it's curious to hear him say that like it's out of his budget. I mean, the man, like, he wears like the most ostentatious clothes.
Pretty sure he's sitting in like a $70,000 truck.
He's sitting in his Range Rover right now. As he's saying this, didn't he buy like a Gucci belt a couple of months ago?
I don't know about that.
I mean,
I think I remember that story. I think he returned the belt. He just bought it for the content, and then he returned it. So.
Yeah, so now the Better Brand CEO is crying broke here. Okay. Right.
But anyways, I'll just get straight to it. So, like a month or two ago, I was notified that we would not be able to renew our lease here at Corrupted. So that basically means that we would have to be out by 31st and find a new location to build a gym at. For those of you guys that are like interested to know about the business and stuff when it comes to the gym makes enough money to support itself.
So let's talk about this again. Let's talk about that lease. When you get a lease for property, you get a chance to speak to people about this, right? Like, and I know this because I used to own a gym. You sit down, you talk to them, you see what's going to take place, and so on and so forth. You talk about how many years you want to have it open for and the terms afterwards. Like, what are we going to do if and when the lease expires? This will happen that this gentleman over here who's talking actually has lawyers in his family. You know, so it's curious to see that contract was negotiated in that way, where in other words, the lease is up and that's it. So long, sayonara, kick rocks.
Yeah, that seems unlikely.
It's possible to happen. Like I think maybe he's slipping his part over here, but it just demonstrates the fact that there's his vision here, his business acumen isn't where it needs to be. This is what it's a very rookie move. Again, he's very young and whatnot, but just whoever's directing him, to give him advice as to what to do for that lease, if he had sought direction, clearly wasn't helping him out.
No, not at all.
This is a shitty situation to be in.
And it doesn't make like explosive money to be able to do like much, if that makes sense. So we make enough to pay for the gym, pay for the employees, and maybe like little things that we might have here and there. But for the most part, it runs itself. And to me, that's a win because the gym is, for me, a place for me to kind of like have a safe haven, come train, and have my own location, just kind of do my own stuff. And then obviously we have members here. We have people that come from all around the world come check the gym out, and I'm so thankful for that. But when it comes to being able to move, it's going to cost money, especially when we're moving to a spot that's almost like we have to build it back out. Like I put a lot of money into this gym.
Build it back out. Let's talk about the changes he made to the space. It's a hangar, basically. It's a warehouse hangar. He fucking slapped some paint on, put a fucking like rug down, and put some equipment in there. There's no massive change. The guy doesn't have air conditioning in his fucking gym, and he's talking about the changes he made over here.
He did have that nice corrupted strength.
Yeah, I wonder how much that cost. Yeah, maybe $50,000, like you were saying. I don't know. We'll see.
That's why he's broke. Bought that freaking sign.
Yeah, that broke the bank.
I've been here. You should have saw the before and after. It's like night and day. We've really made the spot home. And for me, the gym isn't something to like play about. Like to me, it's a very important piece of what I do. So I want to make sure that like when I do open a new facility, it's something that I can invest money into and have it be a safe haven for everyone. And that's what it was for me.
Can you pause for a second?
So when we came to look at a new spot,
he said invest money, but he literally just said before the gym was paying for itself.
Yes.
So he was not investing money into it.
Yeah.
And if the gym was paying for itself, then why is it closed?
Well, the gym's closed right now.
Why doesn't he have AC in the gym?
Well, that's a better question. That's the hard-hitting questions here. But no, so what it comes down to
They're
is
warriors in that
he's saying
gym.
he's just maintaining. It's being able to pay the salaries, being able to pay the utility bills, the rent, whatever the case happens to be. There's no more room forward over here. The contract, the lease, apparently here came to an end for whatever reason. These things do take place. I had my assumptions, but it seems like that may not be the case. When I understand, like warehouse spaces are quite coveted items right now. Mm-hmm. I understand that, like Amazon is just buying them outright as much as they possibly can for obvious reasons. Houston is a big hub. There's a large population over there, so I can imagine potentially that being one of the issues over here.
Perhaps,
I don't know. So I can see it happening. So it seems like basically he's keeping afloat over here. It continues.
Locations, everything was almost like a startup. It was almost like, we got to restart. Basically, like,
you got to repaint the walls.
Probably like 50 bands. I'm looking at it. Probably
50 bands. It's about $50,000. What do you need to get this operation up and running again?
Well, he has everything he needs, basically.
While he says this out of the back of a $70,000 Range Rover.
Sell your car.
If not more than that. So this
sell your car.
So this is how important.
Sell your home. Live in the gym.
Live in the gym because it's home to you.
You owe us, Russ.
If it's a safe haven for you, just live in there, right?
I agree. So it sounds like he's been like dealt a poor hand over here. The lease ending the way it is, I would say unexpectedly, doesn't make much sense because he knew when the termination date was. The fact he didn't take in preparation beforehand, that's again poor judgment on his end.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's listen to the rest of this.
50 bands or like 30, like just a decent amount of money that we just do not have right now. So with that being said too, just like the locations just weren't it. Like I was looking at it, I was like, I can't do this location. I don't feel it. Like I don't feel like we can move Corrupted into this place. And we would have to be married to that location for years. Like we'd have to sign probably like a 2 to 3 year lease.
So he signed a 2-year lease for Corrupted. You signed a 2-year lease and it came up. It ended. How did this work out for you,
Also,
my guy?
if you plan on having like a gym for a long time, like you're not like going to open a gym for 2 years or a
somebody's
year.
starting
Like
out,
it's
like,
like, I don't want to
long-term.
sign a 2-year lease. I only plan on being open for less than that.
Yeah,
Like, what?
What was he
Like,
thinking?
who cares? Like, who cares if you sign a 5-year lease?
Yeah, I know.
No, the way
what is it?
he's making it sound is like 2 years is a really long commitment for a gym.
I know.
I know.
That's the issue.
That's what we're saying.
But it's not the case. If you want to establish a community, you're thinking in a
you're
2-year
thinking
basis.
long term. You're not thinking short term.
Yeah,
within
exactly.
a couple of years.
You're not thinking 2 years. You're thinking like 5-10 years plus. You're thinking maybe I should buy this property. You know,
I
like,
don't. I don't want to hold a super strong opinion here because I don't
I know,
have
there's
a
so
lot
many
of
questions
background.
here.
I know there's. I don't. You know.
Like what's really happening behind the scenes here.
Yeah.
However, though, what we do know is that there's a certain image which is being projected here of
Which
financial
is being
success.
broken down.
Yeah, you know, which is being broken down quite readily here. Better brands, like it's been pushed out there. As I want to say, I want to say the more I'm going to call it the fancy, the more like premier, like powerlifting clothing, like a apparel brand. And lo and behold, this is a reality. He's driving on a Range Rover here, and he can't afford to extend his lease or to find a new place to occupy. You know, so there's clearly something which is amiss over here. You know,
we need the
It
whole.
might be like a couple combination of things. Maybe he lost the love that maybe he doesn't want to be involved in the gym business anymore.
So that continues.
Okay.
I didn't want to put myself in a bind to where, like, okay, I'm here for 2 to 3 years, but I fucking hate this spot. So, and I mean, another thing too is that the economy is complete ass right now. I don't know if you guys are feeling it.
Inflation
but
got me.
commercial real estate in general, interest rates, all that kind of stuff are through the roof. So prices are extremely high.
He's not wrong though. Y'all seen the price of rotisserie
The
chicken?
same.
Hey, go to Costco.
So, like,
$4.99, baby.
Like getting this spot right now, if I were to get to this spot, it would be out of our budget probably. Luckily, we were able to sign like a year ago or a couple of years ago to where like the rate was pretty fixed, so it wasn't bad. But bruh, I'm talking about like it's like a couple $1,000s over the price that we're currently spending here. So that was another component to it. But roundabout.
So you're saying right now the lease price for that spot is a couple $1,000s more expensive than it was before. So I think it's possible that they offered him an extension on the lease and said, oh, by the way, you could open it up again, but it's going to cost you another $4,000 or $5,000 a month. Or whatever number.
And I thought about that after I made my comment earlier, because that's a totally plausible situation, and I mean that's kind of a lot of money.
Yeah, it is.
You know, another
joke.
Yeah, so and I could understand that if the business sustains itself but doesn't turn a profit, then how is he going to be able to afford? I get, like, I understand he's in a, he has brands and he's sitting in this very nice car, but I don't know.
No, I get it. So I can empathize with this. I sympathize with this full-heartedly. I've been there. The whole gym situation, I used to own a gym. I've been in that
why don't you keep
situation.
that shit open, bro?
That's another story.
Oh, Lord, that is a long story.
No,
There's many twists and turns there.
Yeah, fair.
Let me tell you, me not being able to run it was not one of the problems.
Yeah.
I heard about the nightmare landlord and all that stuff.
The gym was definitely paying for itself.
Yes, it definitely was. So either way, in this instance over here, I can sympathize with him there. However, though, it's just the image he projects over here. And he does so at the expense of other people, lessening them, saying, in other words, you're less than me, whatever the case is. Particularly, I guess, in a beef he had recently, I guess, like Brandon Petrie. Like, in other words, he kind of like talks down to people.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you have like the elitism. That, in other words, like, look at me, I'm rich.
I saw a clip of the King of the Lifts podcast earlier, and he was like talking about how he was embarrassed because he lost. Like,
What?
yeah, he was like, bro, when I lost, I was so embarrassed. Like, what? Like, that's just like a weird thing to say.
Embarrassed?
You're
Like, really?
embarrassed because, like, you went
Somebody
head to
beat
head
you?
with somebody who was obviously just as strong or stronger, or someone made the better call, or like, I don't know. Like, at the end of the day, it's like, if that happens, like, you give them the respect, you know?
Yeah,
you
I
just
know.
say, you beat me fair and square, like, hell yeah. Like,
that's a weird
good
reaction
shit,
to
you know?
have.
To be like, I'm so fucking embarrassed that you
Yeah.
beat me,
The main character energy right there.
bro.
Anyway.
Anyway.
I will probably be, I'm closing the gym for sure by the end of this year. And the last workout that I'm going to have here is going to be December 9th.
Let's talk about his
which is
workouts.
my birthday on a Saturday. It's almost like...
And don't laugh at the man on his birthday.
So let's talk about this. He just said December 9th he's closing, right? If you go to the Corrupted Strength page right now, that still doesn't have that date on there. There's no information telling people when the last day's going to be there. The members who pay for this membership don't have the information available. You know, like what in the fuck is
Let
going
me
on
double
here?
check. Let's double check that.
Take a look. Take a look. Somebody made a
not
post about this
get ahead of
today.
ourselves.
Somebody made a post about this today. Take a look at it. Go to Corporate Strength.
Home of the Misfits.
Any information there about that?
The Misfits brought the energy.
Does it say the last day the world will be open is on December 9th?
I don't know. I'm looking.
No. All I see is a $5 day pass. That's all I see.
They'll be selling that $5 day pass long after they're closed.
Oh, man.
Yeah, there's no like info page.
Check out the Instagram page. Nothing there, right? Guess how I know?
No. How do you know?
I did my research.
Oh, no.
Good journalism.
Good journalism, yeah.
So let's continue on.
It kind of fleshed out. My birthday is December 9th, and that falls on a Saturday, which is also going to be the final corrupted Saturday. And that's going to be probably the last Saturday that... It might be the last Saturday that we're open. And after that, I'm going to close and start focusing on getting the equipment moved out to a different location. I kind of already know where I'm going to move it to, just to hold it. And then from there, I'm going to have to game plan and see what's going to be done going forward. You guys have to realize, too, that I am an athlete, and competition comes first. Being an athlete comes first. I have a meet basically March.
So basically,
I
at
can't
least
spend
3
the
months.
first half of next year stressing about the gym or trying to figure out where I'm going to be moving the gym.
I have a meet that's 5 months away.
So exactly what we're talking about.
I have a meet. Who cares? A community is important to me. This is a sanctuary for other people. Oh, by the way, I've got to compete in March. So good luck. I'm sorry. Deal with it.
Not even I have a meet in a few weeks, but I have a meet
In
next
March.
year.
Exactly.
And at the end of the day, he's not even going to move the equipment himself.
I
He's
know.
going to have people do that for him.
Well, he says here that he's going to do so. That's the reason. He says, I can't just watch people do it. I have to be there with them doing it. All right, okay, we get it. Nice. So you'd be sore for a day. Congratulations. How do I know? I've done this.
He'll probably talk about it.
No,
the
but
whole
you've
time,
done it
too.
yourself.
I've done it myself. I know from
You're going to
experience.
have people do it with you. You did it yourself.
I did it myself. So.
I'm a grounds type of person, so if we were to move the gym, I would be here moving stuff along with it, and it just doesn't make sense. And I just have to shut down everything,
You said
and so I compete and get my competition stuff out of the way, and then start thinking about where I'm going to move it to next. Who knows? Maybe something will fall into my lap, and I'll be able to move ahead of time. But as of right now, the gym is officially closing by the end of this year, and then December 9th might be the final, corrected Saturday for sure, where people can come through and work out. I might make it an open gym. One final workout.
I would hope
kinda
so.
send the
He's
gym off.
better not charge that $5 day pass on fucking December
Close
9th.
the gym for a little bit and try to figure out what to do next. I'm not saying this is done forever, but what I am saying, we're done with this location and we do have to close for a certain period of time. Just gotta figure everything out, and it sucks because I know a lot of people do come here and use it as a safe haven the same way that I do. I know a lot of people have moved down here to kind of figure things out for themselves and train at my.
Yes.
So other people have moved down there to this gym. Let me reemphasize that. People have moved down there from as far as fucking Pennsylvania.
Imagine moving to
New Jersey.
Imagine
Jersey.
moving somewhere for that.
Yeah.
Georgia, to be part of this Houston gym culture, this Houston gym Mecca, this powerlifting Mecca, which he's called in the past and whatnot, to live out there and to basically be associated with this here. And now the gym closes down. This guy says it costs $50,000 to make this happen, to reopen again and to do it again the right way, whatever the case happens to be. These people uprooted their entire lives for this fucking gym. Isn't that fucking crazy?
It is crazy. I'm just if Mike T can, if Mike T can win a world championship lifting in his cage in his basement,
I know, bro, but his answer...
you don't have to move across the country
but his answer
to go to a friggin'
I know,
gym.
But his answer to them is, I know you moved out here, but in March, I've got to meet. I can't afford to think about the shit this next coming year.
That's wild.
And I cannot pay $2,000 more a month because that's too much. The gym won't run itself anymore.
So I get that. I understand it. Like if you talk about just maintaining,
Let me tell you something though. When you literally brought people to Houston for this exact reason, you cannot just close your gym down.
No,
and
that's
be like,
wild.
Oh, you know what?
That is.
Sucks for you guys. I'll see you next year, maybe. Who knows? Maybe never.
There's lots of other gyms in Texas,
Yeah,
though. Good luck.
So many poor business decisions over here. The contracts these athletes have, these people moved out there and whatnot with him. You think about things like promissory estoppel. For example, promissory estoppel. If you
I mean,
move
to
out
be
the
honest,
location-
though, I get what you
I
get what you guys are saying, and I agree with it.
We don't know. We don't know the
No, I'm
conversations that
saying
they
though,
have.
but if you make the decision to move to Texas so you can be a part of this gym culture, like, that's kind of on you.
Unless you were promised.
Yes.
I mean,
moving,
sure, if you were like coerced into coming.
Yes, in that case.
But like, who would he, like, who though? Who would he, you're smiling. Give me a name.
I'm not going to name names.
But like, you would have to be like, like, it's already Russ Orhey. Like, he's already one of the, like, who the fuck else could he get there that people are gonna want to come see?
You know, bro, let's not make
Okay,
this.
so we have people who, Jamal Browner, moved from Georgia to be a part of that gym. I'm not
I
sure.
didn't know that. I don't know.
I'm not sure
he's from.
what the contract there is. Sean Mills moved down to fucking Houston as well for this shit.
To work for him and to be in this environment.
Yes.
And then now the gym is closing.
Yeah.
Well, that's really shitty.
And then somebody else from New Jersey recently moved out there.
He's from New Jersey?
No, he's from Pennsylvania.
But somebody else from New Jersey.
Oh,
moved
that's
out
right.
there
He
recently.
is. Yeah.
You know, he moved out over there as well. So I don't know what's taking place, the nature of the agreements, or if there are any agreements in place
That's
there.
fair. I
But
didn't even
just-
think about that.
As somebody who like works with people who depend upon him, whatnot, I feel a sense of duty to take care of my people. If I deliver a promise, or I like say, embroider this reality over here, right? Say this is what it is over here, and then I say, oh, by the way, guess what? I got to.
Oh yeah, I didn't
realize
realize that. I thought you guys were saying that like
No, it's
random people decided to move to Texas so that they could train it corrupted. I was like, well, that's fucking dumb.
So let's talk about let's talk about random people. Let's talk about random people traveling. Let's talk about the corrupted classic 2.0, which never happened.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So this issue seems
I don't
to
know
happen.
about you. Definitely know more about this than I do.
So this issue seems to be a recurring theme. It happened at the first Corrupted Classic 2.0, which is supposed to be the energy center. And then when he rebooked it someplace else, it also got fucked up. And apparently it's a whole gym situation over here which is taking place. So how squared away is he in his business practices? How much does he take into consideration other people's lives and things that are happening? People who are traveling to his meet from across the country. You know, you buy those tickets. Can you get a refund
he's
now?
an athlete first, bro.
He's athlete first. He's got a meet in March. You know, so this is my issue.
I have a meet in March too.
So I've had people coming.
I actually do.
So people have been coming at me as to why I'm roasting this guy because he's making mistakes. Whatever it is, what it is, and I understand that part. But this is an individual who says he's the face of powerlifting. He's not just your average Joe. He's somebody basically who's become a mover and a shaker in the industry. And as that person, you have a certain responsibility now. You can't just say, "Oh, fuck you." By the way, I got a meet in March. Deal with it. That's
fair.
And I don't think it's just going to be until March because the way he's talking, he's not opening up again. He's thinking about
honestly, that's kind of what I thought.
He's also thinking about the warehouse prices and like the gym, like the space prices and all that. And the prices are not going to go down anytime soon.
No, they're going to be going up.
Yep.
So there's something indicating that perhaps I guess some prices in Houston are actually decreased right now for real estate, for purchases. I'm not sure that's the case when it comes down to commercial stuff, but I do know it's like for for private ventures. So there's some signs that point that maybe I guess like there's a slowdown in the prices of real estate in Houston, but as right now it's only in the private sector, not necessarily commercial from what I've been seeing. I had some conversations with people recently. I monitor this shit. I like to make investments.
When I'm at the firehouse, you know?
You like to make investments in Houston gyms, you know?
In Houston gyms. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think this gives us a good segue.
He was the best guy around.
You know what I mean?
What murder?
Anyway,
let's not go that way.
just like I said, but that's my issue over here. My issue here isn't the fact that this man's poor gym just closed down and it's a financial fucking like a clusterfuck for him. It's the fact that he was so cavalier and so careless and so reckless in the way he went about this over here, and ensnared so many people in the process of doing so, and not just in the gym, but also the meet and so on and so forth. This man it's narcissism. It's a case study in narcissism.
I mean, that's you know,
my meet in March. Or you're apologizing to people, paying members who probably paid for. I don't know how long they paid for, and you're saying to them in other words that here's this problem. This gym is no longer going to exist over here. Blah blah. You know, like you're trying to seem apologetic, but I'm an athlete first. My meet's in March.
Okay, hear me out. But when you have the whole circle jerk of people like fucking sucking you off all
day. They're still sucking
Are they
off
jerking you off or
at
sucking
this
you
moment,
off?
they're still sucking you off, guaranteed.
If you have like the whole circle jerk of people, even in your gym, right? Like fucking sucking you off all day.
Hold on.
Day.
Of course.
Stop. No, let me finish.
Are they jerking you off or sucking you off?
Is it both?
It is both. Of course, your ego is gonna be through the fucking roof.
Of course,
and nothing else is gonna matter but yourself.
So that's his fault for allowing that to happen. First off, this is why humility is an important thing here, because it allows you to deconstruct these circle jerks and echo chambers as they're enmeshing themselves around you. You say, hold on a second, maybe this isn't exactly what they're making it out to be. Maybe these people are trying to build me up so they can be in with me over here. Because as you become successful, that starts to happen. When I owned Peak, do you have any idea how much ass kissing was taking place?
Oh.
And I saw it. I was like, what in the fuck is going on right now? The scene hasn't ended to this day. No, but legit, I remember seeing like people like, who, had issues with me in the past, all of a sudden like reaching out to me out of the blue. And like, I remember just the people like all over the place. Like, I was like, this is fucking weird. And I saw it for what it was, When you have like little moments on the comp and so on and so forth, like my lifters do well, like, so on and so forth, all of a sudden I see like a different kind of attention from people. Mm-hmm. But you grow to see the shit if you pay attention, if you're learning to be honest to yourself. He doesn't give a shit about that. It's an ego-driven fucking narrative in his mind. I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the best. Oh, this person's saying the best. Clearly, that's the case. This person's right. He's in agreement with my narrative. It's a very noxious mindset to have, and explains how he's found himself in this instance over here. So the issue isn't that his gym is closed and it sucks, because it does suck. The issue is that this took place because of his one-sided mindset, because of who he is as a person. The issue right now is these people basically now have to go figure themselves out if they have to. I'm hoping that they're doing okay, and figure out what to do now. Where to train at, where to get all that kind of shit done and whatnot. What do they do with their fucking lives now that the fucking center, the hub, the office of the fucking of the content creation is now shut down?
Well, I don't know. I can't imagine that anybody who worked at the gym made a living or living wage.
I wouldn't know. I would not know.
I think that I have no idea. I'm speculating, but like maybe the people that worked or he had come out there to work with him are going to continue to work with his other brands. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, they're still taken care of to some extent. So as
well. I wish them all the best. It sucks to be in a situation where somebody basically, who in a situation where you showed up to a location to do something, I guess, off certain pretense, and found out that indeed it's not the case, and that when things went tits up, they told you, guess what, you're shit out of luck. You got to go figure some shit out over here.
Typical.
Where's the support network here? Where's the? What I'd like to.
Where's the integrity?
Yeah, exactly. What I would have liked to have heard here, which would have changed my mindset about him quite a bit, is this is taking place now. This is what I'm doing to correct the situation. This is what I'm doing to take care of these people. This is what I'm doing to kind of help these guys out of the situation. To take some responsibility.
That's totally fair.
I think it's not too much to ask for as well in this situation here, because if you're somebody who's talking about how successful your brand is, if you're the better brand, and yet you can't seem to take care of your people and whatnot, what does that tell you about that image and the actual reality? It tells you it's fucking full of shit.
Oof.
Oof. And that's my biggest issue with Instagram, is you have a whole bunch of people spinning this narrative. It's not the case. They're apparently, Corrupted Strength, from what I understand, is not the only gym in the Texas region who's dealing with these situations, with these issues.
There's another.
Bro, spitting right now.
There's another big gym.
Yeah.
That's going through it.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing. I've been seeing some conversations, some stuff out there and whatnot. I want to get to the specifics over here.
Something is telling me we'll have another conversation like this soon.
Something tells me Texas Strength System is about to monopolize on all this.
Every single major city in Texas, TSS.
But yeah, so that stuff.
That's where Soph is right now. That's where she's doing a barbell rehab course at TSS this weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she trained there.
So, talking about different states, let's talk about the state of Virginia.
The state of Virginia. In the state of...
Oh, man.
The...
bad stuff.
The bad stuff. The self-interpretation of the rule book, particularly squat depth.
Yeah.
So there was a meet in Virginia a few weeks ago, and the judging was pretty atrocious. There was some...
It's a little too strict.
Little overly strict. A little outside of the actual definition of strict. Because strict would simply imply that you are just adhering to the rules.
I wouldn't use the word strict. I'd probably use the word delusional.
Okay.
So basically, we don't have to keep like stringing along this little game here, but lifters were bombing out with clearly good squat depth.
Amazing depth.
Amazing depth.
I saw these videos.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. You saw the videos, saw the pictures.
Yes, I did.
And lifters were pissed, and rightfully so. Yeah. If you go to a meet And it's not like you squat high in training type of situation. It's they were touching their ass to the floor and getting 3 reds for these squats. Yes. And if that happens to you on 3 attempts, you're disqualified from the meet, and I would be livid, And if say that was my first meet or I'm new to USA powerlifting, I might just jump ship.
I agree.
And there, from what I heard, there were some lifters talking that way.
Exactly. So I heard the exact same thing. I heard that they were so discouraged by what took place there and whatnot that many are going to WRPF.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of an issue for the USAPL. Or going to Powerlifting America now, which is pretty weird.
But it's like, the argument is, it's like, oh, well, no, those feds are XYZ. They go, look what just happened to me at my meet.
Here's the video. Look at my depth and look at the lights I got here.
Yeah.
Clearly this isn't working out over here. So why would I compete for
And then mysteriously, the meet and all the data was removed from LiftingCast.
So if you go to LiftingCast now, there's a blank spot where that meet was. Mm-hmm. It's just on that date. All of a sudden you see entry, X meet on this date, X meet this date, blank. X meet on this date, X meet this date.
So what is the reason for that?
I'm not sure what the reason happens to be there, but I understand it's...
I know that... that they were catching a lot of flack in a Facebook group page, a private Facebook group page. And basically they just doubled down on their calls. It wasn't, okay,
more like they quadrupled
you guys were right. We made a mistake. It was, no, we were 100% correct. Yep. And we're not wavering from our position here.
Yeah, it wasn't just that. It was like, we're 100% correct and you're wrong. You need to revisit the rule book. You need to revisit the rule book, and the rule book is wrong. But something else that was uttered there.
Yeah.
Like, how does that make any sense? I saw the screenshots.
I'm trying to understand.
Saw the conversations.
How would deleting the meet off of LiftingCast help with this whole situation?
I'm not sure what's taking place. I have speculation, and I don't want to speculate about this, but I do know it's missing, because we could speculate and say, oh, maybe the USAPL's changed again. Maybe they're revising.
Yeah, we don't really know why it's missing.
No, but if you bomb out...
But that's super sketchy.
They're going to stop. They're not going to go through bench and deadlift.
I honestly have no idea.
I mean, I heard it was so red.
Yes.
The whole board was just red.
Yes, I saw it.
It
was pretty bad. So that's taking place there. It became quite a bit of an issue. And now, let's just say that like this January, you have state directors for USAPL positions all opening up all across the country, many different states. This is one of those states which I think
they do that every year, though.
Yes, I know, but now it's all happening in January now.
Yeah.
It happened like sporadically recently with
I know. I don't want to create a conspiracy.
No. There's no. It's not cause and effect happening over here. It just what happens. It works out this way.
Yeah.
I think it's important for people to show up and to vote.
Because the only reason I brought that up is because people were making memes and tagging.
And then
all of a sudden the USAPL chairs are up for election and over memes about it's like no,
that's a coincidence.
That's not. Memes aren't influencing USAPL executive decisions.
You want to talk about how that person got called out at the meeting, making those.
This is like a little bit different though. We're talking about basically it's like state directors and so and so being voted out in January, which took place. I think that measure was passed at the NGB meeting. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that also took place at the NGB meeting, maybe related to something we talked about earlier, was that there was a certain somebody who was doing a whole lot of shit talking on Instagram to the stories.
About the meeting.
While the meeting.
So you're in the meeting
while the meeting's taking place,
and you're talking shit about the meeting on your Instagram
instead
stories.
of talking to the people at the meeting about the issues you have with this meeting and the people who are there.
And then that person got called out by the prez himself.
Yes. Larry.
And was basically like, you can either choose to stay here or get the fuck out. Is what I heard was said.
So this is another issue I have with this stuff. When people basically talk a whole big game to Instagram. And they do so for their following because of the whole
what am I even doing here? It's like as if you have all this pull and you just almost got booted out of the room.
Yeah, I know.
But
it comes down to basically, in other words, why are you putting on a facade? Why are you talking about this big bad game when you could actually take steps right here and make a difference? If you're at the NGB meeting and you're not talking to the people who are there, and so you're talking to your audience on Instagram to pat you on the back, to ballyhoo you and shit like that, what does that tell you about the person's character? So this took place. It's small, incidental. I think the bigger issue here is what took place in Virginia recently with those calls, and it being somebody who decides to interpret the rules themselves. The other issue with this is this person has a pretty prominent position within the USAPL in that state, and also like educates other judges and referees when it comes down to like how to officiate at these meets.
That's ultimately why this became such a shit show.
Of course.
Is because all these referees were mentored by this person.
Yep, all sipping the Kool-Aid.
Exactly, right? So they're all interpreting squat depth as like far below what you need to just hit in order to call a good squat. And that's it plays into the whole them doubling down on everything and
and calling people names for being challenged about this.
Yeah.
And then when confronted with this, but I read there, he said that it's so that we can get people ready for the national stage. Some of these lifters who bombed out had just competed at CNATs and at nationals.
It also doesn't really make sense because you can't. There's a standard. There's a rule. The rule is the rule, and it doesn't change from local meet to state meet to regional meet to national meet to international meet. It doesn't change. It's the same across the board. And sure, like honestly, I'm not sure. Like even at local meets, like the judging is not lax. Like people don't get away like unless certain scenarios the refs are new. You know, maybe they don't know the card colors, like they make a wrong call, or that happens. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but like with most local meets, if the judges are experienced, you're gonna experience the same judging that you would at a national meet. It's not. It is what it is. There's no strict, lax.
Yes.
Not in the one Fed. There's a standard.
There's supposed to be standard.
There's supposed to be a standard.
However, though,
and for the most part, it's adhered to.
It is, and which is why I compete in USAPL and why I don't compete in some of the other federations that are out there for powerlifting. I do appreciate, I guess, the standards that they have. However, though, there is a clan-like mentality in some of iterations in some states and so on and so forth. You know, within different federations, and in USAPL, I've noticed that there seems to be one. Well, there is established to be one in Virginia. There's also one that seems to be established also in New Jersey, which is what I've seen, and you see some other states as well. From what I've heard, different reports. You know, like I've had people in my DMs and so on and so forth point out certain things. Like, you know, it seems to be a recurring theme. Okay, and it ties into what I saw happen in Virginia. So this needs to be stopped. Like I said a couple of episodes ago, we're talking about, I guess, the whole like clan-like mindset and whatnot. How there's a certain bias which is inculcated into these people and whatnot that needs to be stopped. And people need to understand this is the standard over here. I like to see certain things. No, that doesn't fucking matter. What matters is what the actual rules are.
I want to see you 2 inches below parallel. Why?
No. Yeah,
that's not what you need to do.
And I agree. And I think there need to be pictures there, which people refer to. This is depth.
So you know what I was talking? I was talking to Ryan about this earlier, and like they have apps now that can like measure joint kinematics.
Yeah.
From you just a video recording. Like, why can't they implement that sort of technology into a powerlifting meet?
Thank you.
I mean, they had depth cameras at the Virginia.
They had the depth. They did have a depth camera at the Virginia.
How ironic!
Meet.
Oh my god!
Yeah, they had a depth camera. Crap. But like, you know, if we have this technology, you know, that can measure like every joint angle when you go through a squat, for example, or if you're doing a sprint or anything, right? Why can't you just set that up, right? And sure, we could keep the judges there. I'm not saying to get rid of the judges, but like we have like instant replay, right? We can play this back, you know, and we could have objective measurements of squat depth or whatever we need. You know what I mean? In order to have a fair and equitable meet.
Of course, I agree. But people are going to say, like, you know, oh, but what do you do at local meets when you have 100 lifters there, or blah, 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 and this, that, and the other thing? It's going to take time, and people are going to be contesting it. Like, I understand, but we start to streamline this process. We get better at it. People are contesting things either way. Things take time either way. I've been to meets where I found myself having my weights misloaded 6 times, and it wasn't just a regular local meet.
Yeah.
You know, so this shit happens.
Exactly.
You know, time wasting is going to happen regardless or not. And if it comes down to the time being wasted that much or whatnot, maybe it's an indication you've overbooked yourself. Maybe we should, like, you know, optimize things a little bit better. Maybe have less people competing. And if money's an issue, maybe charge a little bit more. Or find a way to work.
Less people competing.
Well, but you know what I mean. Like, in other words, like, you know, don't have 150 people in a hole in the wall. They can barely have people warming up properly and whatnot.
That's fair.
You know, these
I do think that
I've seen all this stuff happen.
I do think meet directors could probably get away with charging a little more and doing.
I think they should charge,
but not to pocket the more, but like do something with it.
But let's actually look at what's taking place financially. Russ is talking about like how the economy's in shambles. You know, let's look at the inflation rate. And yet powerlifting meets rates have been the same for the past 10, 15 years. Shit hasn't changed, bro.
They've gone up a little bit.
A little bit. I know, but not enough.
Not in line with the inflation rate.
You know what I mean? So I think
Definitely not in line.
I think it's important to do that.
The memberships are really cheap too.
Yeah, they are, and I think it needs to change. I
wouldn't mind paying a little more for a membership either.
Yeah,
if
maybe
they were gonna. But you know what? Hold on. Skirt. The membership goes to USAPL.
Yes.
The meet meet registration fees go to the meet director.
Yes.
So, and then honestly, the meet director pays the USAPL like $100 fee to sanction the meet, and then that's it. And the meet director does everything. So I would rather the money go to the meet director and have the meet director be able to do more for the lifters than like upcharge the membership. That's probably why they haven't done that.
Let's talk about that money again. Let's maybe shift away from the USAPL now. Let's go into the American Pro. You guys down for this conversation?
I don't know much about the American Pro.
So let's not talk about American Pro. So I guess what do you guys think? I guess that's it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no more controversy.
Are you sure about that?
For now. I mean, there's plenty of it, but we can't talk about it.
Let's not unpack it all the same place.
Yeah.
That said, next episode should have some pretty juicy stuff as well.
Juicy.
Or we may actually go the other route, just make it informative. Let's see what takes place.
Or it could be spicy.
Could be spicy.
Spicy, juicy, and informative.
Well, stay tuned to find out.
Yes. Squat plug after dark. All
right. Well, thank you for tuning in, and join us next time, I guess.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Peace.
Peace.